guys, welcome back to Sussy Gacha Sundays, where I play 3 new gacha games, whether that be old, new, good, bad, whatever it may be. We pick 3 gacha games and play them. And for the 3 games we're playing this week, guys, it's going to be Captain Tsubasa Dream Team, Summoner's War Chronicles, and One Piece Bounty Rush. So first, let's go ahead and talk about Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. It's the game that surprised me the most. It looked the worst, and honestly, the reason I found this is because I was going through KyoApp, and it said it had over 250 million players. So I looked up gameplay for it, saw one YouTuber doing content on it, really, and honestly, the gameplay really intrigued me, so I went ahead and downloaded it and started playing it. Basically, how this game plays is very similar to the Haiku gacha game played, except you control all your players on the field in this game like you would in an actual soccer match. You place them how you want to place them. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of this game now, guys. So let's talk about pro number 1 now. This game seems very, very generous with the amount of summons and characters it gives you when you start off the game. It starts you off with a full UR set of characters, and it gives you a lot of summons to actually summon within the game. But honestly, when gacha games give you a lot of summons, that is usually too good to be true, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the con section. But overall, for new players, it allows you to get into the game really, really fast and start playing really, really quickly. But let's go ahead and hop into pro number 2 now. The gameplay is actually really goated. I even love this gameplay. I love when games do this. It seems very similar to the Haiku gacha game, where you have to choose your skill whenever the ball gets to you and so on and so forth and stuff like that. But in this game, it's whenever the player approaches you on the field. You can choose where you want your players to go on the field. You can pass the ball into open space. You can pass the ball to a player if you want. And then when 2 players meet up with each other, they have a battle. And when you're on offense in these situations, you can either choose to pass the ball, shoot the ball, or dribble the ball. And then of course you have your special skills which compile with these things and do one of those things. And when you're on defense, you have the chance to tackle, intercept, or block the shot. And defense can also use special skills as well. Each player has their own stamina system, so the more skills you use and the more advanced skills you use, the more stamina they lose, meaning the less efficient they become later on in the match, because you do play 2 halves in these games. Personally, I love when games take the more strategic approach to things, though this can get really pay to win because it is a competitive multiplayer game, and we'll talk about that in the con section of the pay to win aspects of it. But overall, the gameplay itself is really solid, and I really enjoyed it. So hopping into pro number 3 now, it is going to be the character depth. You can do a lot with the characters in this game, whether that be training, the hidden ability evolution, ability limit break, boundary break, enhanced special skills, teach special skills, and skill removal. It gives you a lot of customization with each character, and honestly, this just adds on to the matches itself because certain characters can have certain special skills, and when you take this into online matches, it makes you have a different strategic approach to the matches depending on what special skills these characters might have. But that's gonna do it for pro number 3. I don't want to go too much further in depth with that because that is a really long topic to talk about, and we only have 10 minutes for this video. So let's go ahead and hop into pro number 4 now. There's a lot of content for this game. So as far as content in this game goes, you have club competition, events, story mode, online mode, and league mode. The club competitions is basically like a guild where you can join a club and do stuff with them. And then you have your event mode, which allows you to do the special events within game. You have your enhanced player event, which basically gives you player enhancements. And you have your challenge road, which as it states, it's supposed to be a challenge to players with PvE content. And then of course you have your story mode, which gives you the story of Captain Tsubasa. You have your online mode, which allows you to play against other players online. And then you have your league mode, which is kind of like a ranked system where you can get up to a certain rank, you get rewards for it and stuff like that. But one thing I like about the concept of this game is the events and story mode are both able to be played with shared play, meaning you can play with your friends in these events. You can invite your friends and they can all play with you in the same events and stuff like that, which honestly makes the game pretty fun because that means you can get your friends involved if you want to play with your friends. But enough about the pros now, let's go ahead and talk about the cons. One con for me with this game is that even though this game is very stylized in the old style of Captain Tsubasa, I generally don't like it. I don't like the style of how the game looks. I don't like how you look inside of matches. It just looks really old and pretty scuffed, and I think this is going to keep most players away from the game just of how it looks. This next con is kind of con 2 and 3 put together, so we'll put them together right here. This game is very pay to win and it has very low rates and very high pity. And the reason why dupes matter so much is the more dupes you have for a character, it means the more special skills you have for that character, meaning the more matches you'll win in online PvP. Like I said before, guys, whenever gacha games give you a lot of summons, they usually take that back some way by having a really high rates or something like that. But yeah, if I were to give Captain Tsubasa a rating, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the gameplay itself. It really appeals to me, and I really like the gameplay of how technical it can get. Even though there's a lot of pay to win aspects, I still think this is a really fun game to play. But yeah, guys, tell me what you think about this game if you played it before in the comments below. And if you guys want any full reviews of these games on the channel, I'll leave that in the comments below too, and I can do a full review on these games. Alright guys, so hopping into game number 2 now, that being One Piece Bounty Rush. One Piece Bounty Rush is like an arena-style PvP game. The basic gameplay is just like team fights in an online setting. That's the best way I can explain it. But with the basic premise of the game out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the pros and cons now. Starting off with the pros, pro number 1 is the gameplay. The gameplay is really fun to me. I personally like these arena-type fighters. They're just fun to get in there with a bunch of friends and just go beat people's asses in like an arena type setting. It's really fun. You can have great banter with your friends, and honestly, I think it feels pretty grounded in the way you have combat in this game. Pro number 2, that being the character building and the strats that you need for actually defeating the enemy. Those being attackers, defenders, and runners. Attackers have the highest attack, runners have the highest speed, and defenders have the highest defense. Then you also have elements as well. It's like elemental reaction in other game. You know, red does good against green, green does good against blue, blue does good against red, and that's the basic premise of how the combat system works in this game. You also have to level up the skills of each character, and then you have to unlock traits for each character as well. There's also these equipment things in this game called medals, and basically what these medals do is they allow you to equip other substats to your characters, which add a bit of variety to the combat. There's also another cool and fun mechanic in this game with some characters. Some characters have the ability to swap out with another character on that card, which is actually pretty cool, and I think it's pretty fun. I don't have any of these characters unlocked right now, but I did see that as a feature with my last account before my last one got deleted to L. Hopping into pro number 3 now, there is a good amount of content in this game. As far as content goes in this game, guys, you have your challenge battle, which basically brings a new element to your PvP based combat, whether that be team battles or whatever they want to add into the game, really, to make the battles feel a little bit different than your normal basic battles. Then you have league battle, which as of recording this is in season 100. Hey yo, let's go. That's a lot of seasons right there. And what this mode is basically your ranked mode, where you do your standard team-based team fighting game mode. You have your private mode, where you can go and take your friends into a private match and 1v1 them, whatever you want to do there. And then you have your solo mode, which is basically just a pretty mid version of the One Piece story with elements of this game thrown in. And yeah, so if you like the PvP, then there's a lot of content in this game. If you don't like the PvP, then this could be a con for you, and you might not want to play it. But yeah, guys, it's a lot of content for me because, you know, it's constant battle, constant updates to the arena mode. Every week or so, they add in a new challenge battle. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the cons now. Con number 1, very pay-to-win PvP. The reason I say very pay-to-win PvP is because the more dupes you have for your character allows you to upgrade your character more. The higher level your character are means the higher level your base stats are, and the higher level your base stats are means someone's not wailing out as hard as you. You won't be able to get to the top ranks because your character will get smacked based off of level diff alone. The way you ascend these characters are by getting shards from them, and the way you get shards is by summoning. So yeah, that's why I say that pay to win is kind of a big thing in this game and can kind of screw you over. Also, the more dupes you have, the more traits you unlock, which are basically extra sub stats for the characters, and extra passive skills for the characters. Hopping into con number 2 now, the performance. Whoo! The performance in this game is something else. You can put on the highest performance and still have some lag spikes and stuff like that, and the game just feels choppy at times, but sometimes it feels really good. But overall, the performance can be a bit choppy depending on what you're playing on. I'm playing on my PC, and it feels choppy on here. Also, on top of that, kind of adding into this point, if you play as a bigger character, like when I was playing as Kaido on my last account before I lost it, he would just fill the whole screen up, and you could barely see what was going on with the rest of the match unless you turn the camera to like a right angle to kind of see what's in front of you. But yeah, the characters, the FOV is not there. You can't really zoom out the FOV at all. When you're playing as a big character, it kind of screws your vision up. Con number 3 now, the rates in this game. The rates in this game are absolutely abysmal. I got cucked for 3 or 4 multis in a row without getting a single SSR, so that is super fun. But yeah, guys, that's gonna about do it for the con section of this game. Giving this game a rating, guys, I would probably give this game a solid 7 out of 10. Gameplay itself is pretty fun, but if you get bored of the PvP based combat, then this game's pretty dead to you. Also, kind of pay to win as far as needing dupes to actually use the characters. So yeah, guys, tell me what your thoughts are if you play this game in the comments below, but let's go ahead and talk about game number 3 now, which is Summoner's War Chronicles. Alright, guys, hopping into Summoner's War Chronicles, I've already done like a full 10-minute review on this game on the channel. If you want to go check that out, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But let's just go ahead and hop into the basic pros and cons of this this game now. Pro number 1, there is a lot of content with this game. With it being an MMO, there is an absolute shit ton of content. There's a lot of story. The story takes a long time to complete, and I feel as though the content spread pretty evenly throughout these story chapters. So whenever you beat certain parts of the story, you'll unlock another mode of content, and yeah, there's just a lot of content with this game, guys. Hopping into pro number 2 now, the game feels really polished, and the animations and UI look really good. Honestly, when I first started playing this game, I felt like it was a better Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. For me, I enjoyed Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds when it first came out, until, you know, the Sussy cryptocurrency became a thing. But this game does feel like a polished version of that, so if you liked the Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds gameplay elements, then I think you would like this game too. Pro number 3, guys, this game gives a lot of easy and free summons early into the game, which can be really helpful to you, especially beating some of those early raid dungeons and stuff like that. I think these early summons can really help you out. Let's go ahead and talk about con number 1. This game is very pay to win for PvE and PvE. If you're a whale and do a lot of summons in this game and you go into any PvP, PvE event, you're just gonna absolutely slay. PvP, of course, you just get stomped on no jutsu if you're in higher areas of arena, and when you're in PvE as well, the rewards are distributed based off of who does the most damage to the boss, and if you're with a whale, then good luck getting those top level rewards. But that's all I really have to say about that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Anything that involves multiplayer with gacha, there's going to be pay to win aspects of it. Hopping into con number 2 now, the combat feels really clunky, guys. Me personally, this combat does feel really clunky, and I think that's just a thing with MMOs. Not really Diablo though. Diablo felt pretty good with the combat, but this game in particular did not feel good with the combat. It felt really clunky, and you just kind of feel stagnated when you're fighting things. And con number 3, this could be a pro or con for you depending on who you are. This game is very grindy, and the AFK options are okay. I feel as the AFK options can be a bit slow. Sometimes the AI just won't even target an enemy, and you'll just be sitting there for like a good 3-4 minutes before you even go lock onto another target. So yeah, this game is very grindy. You have to complete like your monster codexes to get certain rewards and stuff like that. So this game can get very grindy, but I think that comes in the nature of MMO games, them being very grindy. So if you are up for a grind, then this game's for you. If you're not up for a grind and want something just casual to play, then maybe not the game for you. But overall, guys, Summoners War Chronicle, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good game all around. I enjoyed my time playing it over the week that I played it, and yeah, guys, it's been a pretty fun game. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. If you guys want to see certain games done in this type of video, then let me know in the comments below, and also in the comments, tell me how I can improve these videos or what you would like to see different in these videos. If you want the videos to be shorter, longer, or more detailed with the analyses, or what you want. Anyways, that's gonna do it, guys, and I hope to see you guys back for the second Sussy Gacha Sunday. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to push 1,000 subscribers, so it would really help out if you guys could subscribe. Let me move. I didn't realize the mic arm was in my way. Anyways, bye guys. See you later. Bye bye.